Hey, it's Jaime with Echo Real Estate Advisors. Welcome to the channel that provides actionable content to help your business grow. Don't forget to subscribe, as every month I give away one of my Facebook, Google, and YouTube courses away for free as a thank you for being a subscriber. Okay, today we run one of my favorite campaigns, and that is a conversions campaign. Now, I'll admit it's not my favorite. However, it is one of my favorite, and it's getting close to being that #1 in my book because it is so effective. It's that force multiplier. It just performs so well when you know how to use it. Now that's important, knowing how to use it. And we'll get into some details here in a little bit to give you a bit more about what a conversions campaign is. But if you're looking for an explanation on what all these others mean, there is another video in this channel that will cover that. So I'll make sure to link it in the description so you can go check that out and see which campaign you want to get started with. If this is your first ad in the history of ever, don't run this as your first ad. Let me repeat that. If this is the first time that you've been introduced to Facebook ads and are launching it for the first time, I'm gonna highly suggest that you don't do that, because it's going to be more frustrating than what it's worth. So let's dig into conversions. And since this is an example, I'm not gonna worry too much about naming or anything like that. I just want you to see the capabilities and also how to actually run it. Now, here we go. Choose where you want to drive traffic, then select a pixel or event to track conversions. If you don't have a pixel or event, you'll see instructions for creating that. Now, I'm gonna come back to this because this is very important. This is where a lot of people fall on their face. When they click on conversions, they get frustrated very quickly. So let me come back to that in a few seconds. Let's look at this. We'll optimize delivery of your ads to get the most of these conversions at the lowest cost. Let me reread this because it's important. We'll optimize delivery of your ads to get the most of these conversions at the lowest cost. So what Facebook is telling us, whatever you're telling us here, whatever conversion, whatever event, whatever you see as important to you is important to us as Facebook. So we want you to get to this end goal, to this event, to this conversion as many times as possible, because us as Facebook, we want your money. We want your money as much as possible. So the more that we can produce these to you, the more you're going to keep feeding us, the more you're going to be spending money with us. So we want to optimize for that. So how they're doing it is, whenever you have an event, and I'll go back to this up here in a few seconds to really drive home the point. Whenever we have this event that you're telling us is important to you, and we have somebody land on it, somebody actually convert, become a customer or a client, what we're going to do is we're going to look at that person's information. And if we pick up a trend, if we pick up something about them that is really driving, or there's similar correlations between all the people that purchased, then we're going to continue feeding it to those people so they can come back. Not those particular, but people like them. So like people that are purchasing or becoming clients or enrolling, we're going to optimize that delivery. That's what it's saying here. We'll optimize delivery of your ads to get the most of these conversions at the lowest cost. So it's that force multiplier. Now we need to stop. This is very, very cool technology, but it's like having a fancy several $1,000s worth camera and you barely knowing how to use an iPhone. They don't necessarily translate. There's a lot of technology that you may have in the camera world, but if your capabilities only amount to the iPhone and then you figuring out how the camera works there, then you having several $1,000s worth of equipment, it's not gonna be all that valuable to you. Same illustration here. You have some ridiculous technology in front of you, but we just need to know how to use that. We need to get beyond the iPhone, which is incredible technology in and of itself, but it's known for simplified user interface, if you will. It's for people that can log in and get going. Now, this isn't an iPhone push or anything like that, although I am an iPhone person, but I want to illustrate that because if you don't set things up then chances are it's not going to work. I shouldn't say chances are, it won't work. So there's two things that you need to have done. One is create the Facebook pixel. If you've been following this channel for any length of time, you know that I'm a big proponent of the Facebook pixel. Even if you're not planning to use it right away, if you're not planning to use it today, tomorrow, next week, next month, install the Facebook pixel. It takes less than 5 minutes. I think I've gotten several videos under 5 minutes at this point on how to install the Facebook pixel. So I will link it in the description, and don't forget to watch that and install it. Even if you don't run a conversion ad, install it. Now, the second thing you're gonna do is create an event, create a conversion. Now, for the sake of this video, so it doesn't go longer than it needs to, I won't be covering how to create the event, how to create the conversion, because there are other videos in this channel. Again, I'll link them in the description below. But it is very important that you have those two things. Without those two things, you have nothing. In the conversion world, you can still run other types of campaigns. You can still run a leads campaign, message campaign, traffic campaign, and all that other fun stuff. But as far as conversions, there's nothing for you to convert. You didn't tell Facebook to track your conversions. You didn't create an event for it to be trackable. So what you see here, you won't have it if you haven't created these. That's why I mentioned, if this is your first ad, you're not gonna want to do this type of campaign. Go over and do an engagement campaign, go and do a leads campaign, traffic campaign, or something else, because this is not the right ad for you. So let's keep going. All right, what I'm trying to do is optimize for this for this event of my ads. I'm gonna forgo dynamic creative. It's okay, I just haven't had too much success with it, so I'm not gonna bother with it at this moment. Offer, if you have more of a product-based business, that would make a little bit more sense. And then as far as audiences, I'm not gonna get too buried down with the creative here, because I just wanna drive home the conversion aspect first. So I'm really not even going to do too many targeting. Actually, as I'm scrolling down, I'm not gonna do any. So I will edit the placements just to give a little bit of a highlight there. You can select the platforms that you want. As you can see, if it's been a while since you've run a Facebook ad, you're starting to see a lot more places to advertise on Facebook, where now you can do this on Facebook Marketplace. You can do this suggested videos, Messenger, inbox. So if it's been a while for you, know that there's a big change. There's a big change. And now, instead of the placements being Facebook, Instagram, and then custom audiences, you see that they're paired based off of how they present. So you have feeds, stories, in-stream. So there's a lot more creative places for you to place your message in front of. So you're gonna wanna mess around with that and see which platform and which type of message, this type of, style will work for you. For the sake of this example, I'm just gonna exclude everybody with the exception of the feeds. Just so you see how that works. I do want this on all mobile devices. I don't care if it's on Wi-Fi or not. That's mostly for apps, so you can download that. I'll leave that at a low budget of $20, no big deal. I do want to optimize for conversions. This is important here. So you see landing page views, you see other options. I go ahead and leave it as conversions. Will deliver your ads to the right people. Let's read over here. Will deliver your ads to the right people to help you get the most website conversions. Now, if you look at the difference, will deliver your ads to people who are more likely to click on your ads link and load the website or instant experiences. I don't necessarily care how many people land on my page if they're not gonna purchase. There's a reason I created the event, and that reason is for you, Facebook, to optimize my sales. Not how many times you hit my landing page, but how many times I convert a client, how many times I get a customer, how many times I get somebody to enroll. That's what I'm paying for. Now, landing page views, if I wanted to do landing page views, I'm better off doing a traffic campaign or doing engagement wouldn't work. A leads campaign, something like that. Even leads wouldn't work. I would just be doing a traffic campaign if I was gonna do landing page. So I'm gonna leave conversions before I continue rambling. Conversions window, let's read this. Select the amount of time it typically takes for someone to complete a valuable action, a conversion, which you measured, after clicking or viewing your ad. We use data generating this time frame to optimize ad delivery. For example, if your conversion window is 1 day, we'll optimize by using data for conversions that happen within 1 day of someone interacting from your ad. So what they're saying is, from the moment that somebody clicks, from the moment that somebody took action on your ad, what's the typical sales process? Is it typically taking 2, 3, 4, 5 days before somebody converts? That's what they're asking for. So really, don't mess with it. Don't mess with it. Just leaving that 7 days click or 1 day view is good enough. Then we're going to target the lowest cost. We're going to continue. Not going to worry too much about the conversion. The name, again, just wanting you to see what it looks like. You're going to start seeing that it looks a lot closer to a traffic campaign than any other type of campaign if you run Facebook ads in the past. So very similar. You select your image, you select your video. This is where you would do that. And then you select where you want it to go. So as far as the layout, very similar to traffic. It's not an engagement type of a campaign. It's not a messenger type of campaign, although it has some similar characteristics. But a conversion campaign is almost indistinguishable from a traffic campaign, with the exception that on conversions, you're optimizing for those conversions. Now, a very important thing to note is a conversions campaign is more effective or most effective after you've had 50 conversions and up. So you need a certain amount of success, a certain amount of opt-ins, a certain amount of clients or customers to trigger your event, your targeted conversion, for this to start making effect. But once it does, once you get those 50 successes with this conversion campaign on top of that, it's going to be exponential. Facebook is going to get really, really smart, and you're going to look really, really good with the amount of business that you're going to generate.